The Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony and Sally on the Knock 'em Dead radio show. They're going to keep knocking 'em dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus, and...
3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, that Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warm up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
as the show begins. You're telling all your friends the party never ends. Knock 'em dead. Knock 'em dead. Comedy show.
You don't know me. I always go to that if that's like this. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey. Hi, everybody. It's Friday. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Show. Nice to see you all. We're here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, the Twitch channel. Please follow the Twitch channel. Please follow the YouTube channel. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast on both channels.
Yeah.
And thank you for being here.
For coming.
Yeah, because we haven't been here much this week, so my apologies. We have not been here since Monday. Tuesday was the wedding, Wednesday we're off, and then yesterday was just a crazy day for me. So
Dude, those things happen.
It does, and I'll quickly explain it because I want to get to you, but so I've been in the process for a month now of buying a new truck.
Oh, nice.
I drive a GMC Envoy, it's called, and a buddy of mine owns.
No, it's just funny the way you said that. Go.
A buddy of mine
Don't let me
owns.
slow you down.
Good old Greg Marcosis up there in Hicksville owns Lemon Auto Sales, and I've been buying cars from him forever. He's a close friend, and he came across another Envoy. That's in better shape and just lower mileage, and he's like, do you want it? I'm like, you know what? I think I'll take it.
Never been driven by a one-legged man?
And most things haven't been. So, which is why they're in better shape. So we worked it out, and he just couldn't get it in good enough shape. He was having all sorts of issues with it. So this has been going on for a month, and then so he called me up on Wednesday. He said, you know what? I think I'm just giving up on this one.
Right.
He goes, I don't feel comfortable selling it to you. He goes, I'll probably sell it to somebody who knows how to.
Who I don't know.
Yeah, right. Who I don't care about. That knows a little bit about cars. Maybe won't, because I'm driving all the time between shows, between coming here.
Right.
Like I drive my daughter around. I'm always moving and shaking. So my truck needed some work, oil change and a few things that I've been putting off because I'm like, why am I going to do this? I'm getting this new truck.
Exactly.
So he, so yesterday, so the plan was to drop the truck off yesterday. I mean, it was in such need of an oil change that the thing was actually coming up. Oil pressure low, and I'm like,
oh, yeah. Once the oil pressure light starts, yeah.
So I was getting nervous. So I'm like, I got to bring it in. So that was Wednesday. He said, forget this new truck. And I said, all right, well, I got to bring mine in. He goes, yeah, bring it tomorrow. I'll make room. I said, perfect. So I made plans to get a ride here. I was going to drop the truck off. But I every morning I take my daughter to Dayhab first before I come here. And my daughter is always late. So I may need to beat her up. So she's always late. Yesterday was even later than usual. So by the time I dropped her off, by the time I got the truck over there, it was after 10. So I'm like starting to freak out. Like, I got to get over there. The ride that I had didn't show.
Right.
So I'm like, I text my son, and I wasn't getting a response. I'm like, damn it. So I'm like, screw it. Uber. Right? I hit Uber. It was going to cost $13. And my buddy's shop is literally, like, you get on the Wanto Parkway, it's the next exit.
Okay.
And then he's like a quarter of a mile off the parkway. Like, it's literally a 5-minute ride. And I'm like, $13? Like, it killed me, but I'm like, screw it. I'll do it. And then it kept, like, on Uber, it shows you where the guy is, you know, like where he is and how far out. It kept, like, every time it hit 0, it would go back to 3 minutes, and it would show him, like, not even being close. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Right.
I waited almost 15 minutes, and at this point, I'm really getting crazy because I'm really pushing it with getting here. So I'm like, screw it. I hit cancel. They charged me $6 to cancel it. I'm like, and that was actually it for me. I'm like, you know what? Screw this.
Right.
I'm not doing the show today. I'm mad. I'm upset. And I'm like, and I didn't have a ride. So I start walking, and I'm about probably 2 miles from Greg's shop, and I'm walking. I'm texting I probably went about half. I probably walked half to 3/4 of a mile, and there was a bench for a bus bench. And so I sat down, I took a breather, and I'm texting. I finally reached Zach. I'm like, are you busy? You around? Can you come get me? And he wasn't responding right away, so I ended up walking about halfway home. I walked probably a little over a mile, and then finally got a hold of Zach, and he came and got me. Not the worst thing in the world. I've done that before. It's not the easiest thing in the world for me to walk that far, but it's not the worst thing. But I was definitely, yesterday it was hot. I was sweating. It kind of wore me out a little bit. So, yeah, I just had him take me home, and that's why I did the quick video. I said, you know what? I'm just not doing a show today. And I'm backed up with work because I've been recording stuff in here that needs to be edited, and I don't know why I took that on, but I did. Fucking Riccadonna. But
Hey,
I'm
take
teasing.
that back.
And that's my segue right there. That's my segue. So tell me, we have not talked about this at all.
Yeah, no.
Because I wanted to save it for here. Tell us what happened last week.
Well, for all of last, I had an amazing 4 or 5 days in a row that were great comedy days.
Oh.
Thursday,
You're talking about last week?
yeah, was going to the Laugh Off and actually stopping by and talking to Carla and Keegan at Village Idiot, which is by my house, and then going to the Laugh Off, then meeting up with a bunch of people, with Butera and Keegan and Carla again afterwards down in Patchogue. Then Friday night came here to see Billy in an Andrew Washington show in the Giggle Room.
Cool.
And then Friday we had the podcast, and Mark very generously offered if I came down, he would give a guest spot. I mean, it was open, I think, to both of us, because we both said, you said, oh, maybe Friday, and I said maybe Saturday. And he said, oh, well, if you guys come down. And so I did. I went down there. I asked. I was like, hey, is it cool? And he was like, absolutely. Mark is a fucking prince.
Yes.
It's very rare, I think, you meet somebody who meets their kind of their image.
Right.
What they project. It's him.
And just so good at what he does, so funny.
Yeah.
But a workhorse. I mean, this guy's got multiple TV shows. He's got multiple podcasts. He is doing stand-up someplace in this country every single weekend.
Yeah.
He does cruise ships. He has a show, a live show that he does with comedian Tom Briscoe, who's been on this show.
Right.
This guy is, and he writes for cartoons. He's which we didn't even talk about when we talked to him last week because there's so much. He's written for Weekend Update at SNL.
Yep.
I mean, this guy is everywhere.
It was, and they gave me 8 minutes. They ran it
Wow.
by. He ran it by Manny. Manny said yes. And
Now who? No, he also. I don't mean to cut you off, but it was him, Jim Bryan, who was also
right,
part
and
of
the
interview.
host was Jack
Jack?
Adam.
And now that was the whole show.
Yes. So
And then
4
you,
comics. Jack is one of my very good friends in
Right.
comedy. Because when we first
And
ran
you,
into
he's
each
a
other.
very fun. He's a very funny comedian, but very smart comedian.
I connect with we have 22 years between the two of us.
Yeah.
But I very much connect with Jack in ways I don't with a lot of the other comedians.
Mm-hmm.
Our conversations tend to be a lot more structural, a lot more kind of in deeper, just a little deeper than with everybody else.
Sure.
Matter of fact, he's suggested books for me. I've suggested books for him. He wrote a script. He had a 1-act play that he had written, and he was shopping around to get into grad schools. And I feel so honored. He actually contacted me and asked me to read it, and then both to find if there were any grammatical errors, if there were any spelling errors, but also if what I thought of the play. And it's phenomenal.
I don't know if I told you. What was that, a month ago? Bosie made his return.
Yeah.
The night, I came down to see him that night and support, and we talked about it here. He was so nervous, and I showed you pictures. He was a wreck. But he was at the bar, and he actually came up with a premise that it was something he just thought of that day, but he wanted to like turn it into something in time for his show that night.
Right.
Jack, it was me, him, and Jack that were kind of going through ideas, but truth be told, it was mostly Jack.
Right.
And he shaped this thing for Jeff. Came out. I'll be honest. I don't remember what it was now.
Right. Yeah.
But Jack
Dude.
and I. But for
I don't remember my own shit.
Right. Jack must have had 5 different places to go with it, things to do with it. I came up with one, but then I actually felt on it because Jack was like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty good." And I'm like, "You felt you did something right."
He is an artist. He is truly an artist, and very thoughtful, like very introspective, and always thinking about comedy. And I really have a true affection for him. He's like. It's like a little brother like vibe, it's very rare that I get that with somebody like where it's not a protective thing. It's like more of like I'm proud I know him,
kind of like with me, but older brother.
No, not at all, not at all. Anything like what I have with you.
Let's see. So there's a comment here, held for bullying. Who's? Oh, it's Jay. Jay says, "What up, fuckers?" They held that back because he wrote, "What up, fuckers?"
It's like,
oh my goodness,
it's like the Geek Squad of comedy. Have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in?
So, and what is it when you're here, Jay? I'm just curious what his answer will be with
It's the cool guy squad, Mr. Tony.
I bring you ratings, Mr. Tony.
Seriously. I should get paid for what I do over there.
You give me $4,000 a week and I'm here.
And worth every penny.
Well, true. Yes.
And so that's Saturday night, and I went up, and it was great, and it just was such a great vibe. I was riding a high big time. I did well. I taped I filmed it, and it like the second half. I need to work on the second half, which is. There's a lot of things that I've been working on with my act, kind of blowing it up really, and I'm like, okay, this is having listened to this, and I was up in front of a club crowd and everything, and they weren't as into it as I want them to be, or it's been in the past. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's good motivation to like move on. But that Jim Bryan, what a great dude.
Yeah, he seemed like it when we talked to them.
Really cool, down to earth guy, and even we touched on it a little bit there, but both Jack and I got to talk to him about his club,
the Church of Satire,
and the Scoops of Satire. He didn't, because that was there's a retail space that's like attached to his club, and his I think his wife had it as like a nail salon or something like that, but now they're going to make it an ice cream thing. He's got a deal with Hershey, so he's going to be using Hershey ice cream. He can't change the name of the ice cream because that's all proprietary.
Right.
But what they did tell him he's allowed to
Scoops
do.
of Satire. Okay.
If you like any like shakes or special combinations or whatever, he can name them whatever he wants, and it's brilliant because they're all named after famous comedians.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm just going to say the one is the Bill Burr, and it's BRRRR. I don't remember what it's like, all plays on. I'm like, oh my God, that's so great.
That's great.
He's got one called the Slapstick, which is just going to be a vanilla shake with a whole banana in it. But it was awesome. And he gave me a Church of Satire. Perillo has a Church of Satire hat. He gave me a big sticker, and I actually, it fits perfectly and is awesome, like right up against the.
The guitar. Okay.
Oh wow. Yeah,
well, it's
here.
Oh, okay.
It's just not enough to. But anyway, they. So it was really cool, and we were vibing, and.
I meant like Andy and Jack, two smart guys, which is evident because you wrote too smart, like T-O instead of T-W-O. Don't worry, Tony. Only Jack got the Bill Burr. No, I got it. It did take me a second, but I got it. The normal people call that the bottom of the guitar. Jay, why don't you just come in?
You motherfucker.
Jay, get in here. Get in here.
But so then I went to Red Zone. There was a roast going on, which John Agostino, the owner of Red Zone, likes to have these roasts where he roasts like his regulars. and basically the comedians all get hired to come in, and they have like a Facebook page with all their info, and they write all these jokes. And Winchell and Alex and Rob White were there. Adam Gable, his girlfriend.
No, wait a minute. When was this?
This was that night. It was for Saturday night.
So
I was riding a high. The show's over.
So after Rick Adonis was done, you went.
I shot
there.
to the
Wow.
Red Zone. I only missed. I missed Alex, which I'm actually kind of upset about, and like half of Gable's girlfriend's set. Kelly. I hate when people like, oh, Gable's girlfriend. It's Kelly, and she was funny. She's Canadian, so I was triggered.
Canadian Kelly.
Yeah. But everybody was very good. And when I walked in, Rob White actually was like, because he was hosting, he waves from across the room. I wave. He goes up there and he goes, after Kelly goes, and he's like, hey, ladies and gentlemen, just walked in to the Red Zone. Long Island comedy legend Andy Plagainos.
Fitting.
Which I'm like, I'm start giving him the finger because I know because he didn't get to use any of his roast jokes against me when we did the competition like a month ago.
Right.
So he's like, doesn't he look like an out-of-work time traveler? I'm like, fuck you, man. I can't get back at you.
That's a great line.
Yeah. No, they're few and far between. But, yeah. And then everybody was fantastic. Got to hang out. The hang afterwards was great because I've, like, Joe and Alex, that's like our clique kind of thing, and that was really great. Then on Sunday, I had a show at Alibi in Farmingdale that went really, really well.
Nice.
Because I have I don't do topical humor, and I know I posted this on Facebook, but I have to keep telling this joke because it's eventually going to run out, and I want to just get all of it. It was Budweiser with the whole Bud Light thing. And so their sales went down. So now Anheuser-Busch, they got the Budweiser can and they put Harley Davidson logo on it, which I read up on it. They're not stopping there. They're going to have a Teamsters can. They're going to have a Back the Blue can. And they're going to have a Native American Chief can. They're reuniting the Village People. So I have to keep telling that so that I can.
That's great.
And so I did that show. That was great, and it was cool to hang out. Alex was on it. Noel Rodney Jr., who's great,
he's great,
hosted, and actually Greg Pfeiffer, a friend of mine, came down. He's the one I think he's coming like next month.
Yep.
And then I was like, well, I'm here, like. I'm all the way out here, so I came by here to see if anybody was around. Got to see Jay.
Oh,
Jay,
nice.
Dan LaRocco and Tom McGuire and Evan Weiss.
Evan Weiss.
Yeah.
Played the main stage or the Giggle Room?
It was the Giggle Room because I think Marcy had a...
Oh, Marcy Green show last Sunday. Oh, I forgot all about that. I wanted to get here for that.
So, but it was like, it was such a sweet ending to these 4 outlandishly great days to see Jay. Like it really does. Like I don't get to see Jay nearly enough because he actually gets booked on real shows.
He does.
So we're not on the same shit shows anymore. Well, not shit. They're Butera shows. They're all right.
Now, what did Rick Adonis? Did he have anything to say after your set?
They just were like very funny. Let's keep in touch and blah blah blah. So I really want to. I'm going to be in Hershey this summer, the first week of July, I think, or second week of July, and I'm gonna call him or reach out to Jim and just be like, hey, I don't even. It's not like I'm even looking to perform. I want to like check this place out.
Yeah, right.
And I'll be there.
Right.
Like I'll be at Hershey. Like. Which he said it's like about 40 minutes away from where he's at. And so I'd really love to see the place and support and whatnot because Jim was hilarious and just a really, really good dude.
That's cool.
So.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, sir, says, Vicky liked the Village People line. Thank you, sir, says Jay. I appreciate the amazing comment. We don't see each other enough for sure. Well, get down here.
No,
we're on for another hour. Jay, he's 10
this
minutes
is my
away.
Time. Fuck him.
Now you sound like him about Tuesdays.
Right, exactly.
I'm
Laura fucking Patton. Mr. Tony. What the Laura fucking Patton?
Why the fuck is Laura Patton here?
And that was the cool thing about Friday night show is like Perillo. I've done my Perillo impression for Perillo before, but I don't think he recognized it until like, wait, do you do an impression of me?
Really?
I'm like, yes, I do. And then I had to cut, like, you know, I always make sure that, like, listen, if I do an impression of, like, somebody I know, it's because they have a dynamic voice and I care enough because I'm telling stories in which I'm interacting with them.
Right, yes.
Because that's how my brain works is I can't just, like, quote somebody in my voice. I have to, if I'm telling a story about Tony, hey, Andy. You know, I was just said last night to Billy, I was like,
oh, really?
I was like, yeah, but Tony was like, hey, Andy, why don't you come in? And he's like, and he even says, he's like, he sounds like Yogi Bear. And I'm like, yes, I stole this from Eric Shevlin, his impression. But I said, like, Yogi is one that I've been doing for years. And when I was in Turkey, I used to have to cook lunch for everybody on the flight line. I told this story before.
Yes.
I usually tell the part where they would come up and I would do All in the Family. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, Archie, I love it when you really smack my ass. Jesus, Edith, I'm trying to bust your nut here. Shut your trap. But I would also do like Yogi and Boo Boo. Be like, hey, Boo Boo Bear, why don't you go ahead and blow me?
Okay, Yogi, but this time don't shoot it all over my face. I hate it when it gets in my eye.
Okie dokie. And then actually last night when we riffed it, me and Billy, we were like, he's like, what about, you know, isn't he going to pay Boo Boo? Like,
gee, Yogi, you really need to pay me for all these blowjobs.
okie doke. I just have to go out and grab a couple of picnic baskets.
So it almost, so yeah, and I've said it before. That imitation of me, it sounds nothing like me, but for some reason it does work.
Well, because there's it's an exaggeration of an aspect of your voice, and that's, remember Kevin Pollak. I brought it up with him is that like his I heard an interview with him and Craig Ferguson where he talked about how you cannot do an exact impression of people, right? Because if you do, it's not going to be good. You have to. It has to be a cartoonish aspect of their voice, and so it just that works with you.
Well, but so that conversation about paying him for blowjobs, it almost sounded like a conversation between me and Bosie.
Yes,
basically because I guess I could just go right into my Jeff Bosie.
It does. It sounds very...
Tony, you have to pay me for all these blowjobs here.
Okay, Jeff Bosie. Let me go get some picnic baskets. Let me go in the bathroom and take out my med money from my leg.
Jay says, I'm one of the 2 watching. We would just be talking to ourselves. No, Dick, there's 7 watching. It says, you son of a bitch.
Which also includes us 2, so there's 5 watching. True. So that's the 4
and then
Fremder,
Jay is 1, right.
Vicky, and so there's 2 lurkers.
Jeff Belushi.
Yeah, very good, Fremder.
Yeah, that was good. I don't think anybody's ever said that before.
No, I imagine he's heard it in his life.
Yes.
I can't imagine that.
Nice to see you back, Fremder. I think I told you that on Monday. Before I go any further.
Well, how was the wedding? That's the thing that...
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up next.
On the other side, or...
What's that?
On the other side of the interview? Or?
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. All right. Yeah, we talked to comedian Sara Contreras.
So great.
She was a lot of fun. She's playing the Brokerage tonight and tomorrow. And we're giving away passes. Now I know why Carol is Andy's Annie Wilkes.
I don't know who Annie Wilkes is.
Me neither.
Is she hot?
I hope so.
Because Carol's hot.
So.
Are you hosting tonight?
I'm hosting a Gov, says Jay. Yeah, when, Jay? And who's here tonight?
Yeah. Because I feel bad because this was supposed to be my 30th high school reunion weekend. And it was going to be tomorrow night, but not enough tickets were sold. So the core group of my friend group were getting together at my friend's house and debauchery and whatnot. So I won't be out tonight.
So is Jordan Fisher here tonight? Is that
you know what I just had that up on my phone. Jordan Fisher, it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. And then don't forget, speaking of Blosey, Mike Keegan and friends tonight in the Giggle Room.
Oh, fuck.
Keegan, Bosey, Hugh Murray.
Not me.
Carla Okeson. You can also see Kathy
misery.
Arnold. Chuck Fox is in it tonight. Oh, and Will Sharon is in it tonight.
Oh, a rare Will Sharon. Now I'm really sad I'm not going to be here.
Nikki Ginsburg. Then you got you got Sara Contreras at the brokerage. I don't know who's at McGuire's. Then I'll look that up.
Irene Premise.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
how
there
did I
both
miss that?
Friday and Saturday.
Oh, very nice. All right, so we're talking to Sara Contreras. She's fantastic. If you want, go check her out at the brokerage. She really is great. We had a great interview with her. Just quickly before I play that, there's something I want to mention because I don't want to forget it. Today, I just want to wish a very special happy birthday to Joe Carletto.
Oh yeah, I sent him the Facebook thing.
Yep.
So
Joe Carletto,
happy
one of the
birthday.
owners of Governors. You guys have seen him in here. I get so many requests from viewers to get Joe in here more often. People love when he comes in. And that's really him in real life, too. People just love him.
He is like so comfortable in his own skin.
Yeah.
And as somebody who is not comfortable in my skin, it is.
I'm not comfortable in your skin.
It puts me, foreskin and all. Docking. I don't know how we got here. But no, he's so comfortable. Like, it's just, it's a magnetic thing. Like somebody who's that confident and that, like, thoughtful and cool. He's just cool.
Yeah, he's one of those people that
I've gotten to talk to him.
You just get jealous because he's just one of those people that at least I don't know, if this is accurate or not. Only he would know, but he just seems like he's one of those guys that just has it all together.
Yeah, that's him. Like it just is so comforting.
Yes,
as to be in his orbit.
Right.
It's a very comfortable feeling.
And he's not your typical owner. I mean, Joe. He does. He owns a lot of things, and he's not your typical. He doesn't act like he's above you.
No,
he doesn't abuse his power. He's not a dick. I mean, he's just a super, super nice guy.
When he's talking to you, it really is like
he cares.
He is paying his full attention to whatever the hell you're saying, even if it's just some stupid little fucking thing you say to him as he's walking by.
Yep.
And he's like, "You'll never work in here ever, Andy." No, that's never happened. He's been nothing but a fucking gentleman.
Absolutely, always a gentleman. Very positive. Always smiling. Yeah, just a super, super guy. And I'm actually thinking right now, Joe, is it the big 6-0 for you this year? It might be. It's either 59 or 60. I forget. But either way, great guy. Happy birthday, Joe Carletto. Hope you're having a great day. And Carol Miner just signed on. She says, good morning. Carol,
hey.
I'm glad to see you here. Are you all right? I know Texas has had some bad weather the past few days. I know a tornado hit in Texas, but I don't know where in Texas. So hope you're doing well. And I know even this, I think they said this weekend, now it's supposed to be some major heat going through that area. And, yeah, so let us know how you're doing.
Basically, God hates Texas.
Right, I keep telling Carol she's
that.
got to come back here. These are the signs. God's going to keep doing this to you until you come back here. He told us. He's our guest tomorrow. All right, so Sara Contreras, Sara Contreras, you can see her at the brokerage this weekend. But first, see her right here. We're talking to me and Andy. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful, the hilarious, the sexy Sara Contreras is here. Hi, Sara.
Hola mi gente. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. And of course, you're speaking Spanish, and of course, here's your target audience: 2 white nerds.
Yeah.
I
I took
Have
French.
you been with a Latina?
No.
Hey, did you just ask if we've ever been with a Latina?
Yes.
Like sexually?
Have you ever gone out, dated, been in a relationship?
No, just very good friends. Like hot.
That's nice.
Obviously, they were all very, very hot, but they were
Yes.
also very, very good friends. So
Okay, no, because I do a whole bit about white men who are in love with Latin women. I tell them that first night you spent with that woman, you stop being white. You're not white anymore, bro.
well, that's I was watching some of your videos. First of all, I love your energy. I love your vibe. Because
Thank you.
I saw a couple of your comedy bits, which were hilarious.
Yeah.
And just
Thank you.
your love for life, like your dancing and whatnot was amazing.
Thank you so much. That's the Latina.
Let me ask you about that, because in your act, you like you've been doing. You start speaking Spanish in the middle of bits, and a lot of your material is based on being Latino and whatnot. So do you like Sebastian Maniscalco targets the Italian audience, and they're very loyal to him, and they'll laugh. I mean, he just says hi, and they crack up. Is that the same for the Latino audience?
It's my favorite. Honestly, it's my favorite audience. I love all my audiences. But when I'm in front of a Latino audience, it's like I'm in my living room. My aunties are all around. My drunk uncles has stopped the molesting people. They're paying attention to what's going on in the living room. And we just throw it out, and it's just, that's exactly what it feels like. And the fact that I can use Spanish, I love speaking Spanish. I'm bilingual. And there's a lot of things that just don't translate.
Right.
Sure.
They just don't translate. So in other words, yeah, he does it and he's appealing to his audience, but what? I'm doing it in 2 languages. Right. Come on, Sebastian.
Step up.
Let me see what you got.
Well,
and I sign. I do sign.
Oh, no kidding.
That's my next goal in comedy is to do true deaf comedy.
You're try, huh? It's hot.
I'm gonna be a
super
try.
hot.
Yeah. So thank you for that. Yeah.
It's funny you say that, because a story I always think about when talking about signing or just deaf in general. Joey Cola was doing a show here a couple of years ago, and he didn't know it at the time. He didn't know when he went out that there was some kind of deaf group that was here. It was the audience was about half and half, hearing and deaf. So he goes out there, starts doing his bit, and all of a sudden he looks to his left, and there's a woman on the stage, signing, translating. He didn't know this woman was there. So it threw him for a minute. But it was also weird because, he would say something, he would tell his joke, and the people that can hear, get that immediate laugh. And he was about to go to his next bit, but the woman wasn't done signing, so there was like a delayed reaction from the deaf group. It was, it took a little bit of an adjustment for him. So have you done that? Have you done that at all with the signing at all yet, or that's just?
I haven't performed for a deaf audience. Mm-hmm. My sister's deaf, my brother's deaf.
Oh wow!
So when I'm among the family, they fight with me. They tell me, you don't sign on your social media. You're not doing deaf comedy, and it's like that whole thing with Def Comedy Jam back in the day.
Right.
So that's always been a goal for me, that to be able to go up before a deaf audience. Because see, with the signing, it's harder in a sense, because what the translator has to do now is take the English and literally like change it. It has to be, the syntax is very different. So you have to hear the joke first, then know how to do it. So it's always going to be delayed. But I think that, so much of my comedy is physical, and my face and my movements and all of that. So I think that it's going to work out beautifully. That's my goal.
That's cool.
Things.
That's what's going to be so great without having to use a translator is what you're saying, and how you want it. That's so great.
And I'm also,
my mind's blown.
Yeah, it's not just, let's say, trilingual. It's tricultural, right? So I know the culture. I know what is going to work, what's not going to work, what they're going to get, what they're not going to get, because a lot of it is nuanced. And if you don't have that strength in that one language, it's going to be hard to translate it into the other.
Right.
So, I'm looking forward to it. That's
so
like
cool.
one of my, this is a big time in my life, because I've always maintained a day job. I've always held on to, and I've officially retired. So I am coming at this comedy like, I'm going to be so nasty. It's going to be.
Good for you. Congratulations on the retirement. So cool, yeah, that's great.
Thank you. Yeah, because I was in education, and you got to kind of like, I always had these blocks. I sort of self-censored because I always felt like I had a responsibility. Yeah, but now I'm done. I don't care.
Well, good for you. That's fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Thank you. 40 years as an educator.
Wow. And comedy
I'm proud of it.
And comedy for at least 20, right?
28.
28. Wow.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you started when you were like 2.
Thank you.
Oh, please go on.
Listen, I lied about my age so much. When I finally came clean, I went from 38 on Monday to 58 on Friday.
It's amazing how that happened. Let us know when you're going to do that deaf show, because I think you should do it right here in our giggle room here. There's a deaf community here on Long Island, and
let's do it.
Yeah, we could probably put something together.
I would love to talk to the club about that. Yeah, we
cool.
Try it out. I think I have enough that I could probably do at least like maybe a 40-minute set.
Cool.
Where it's just
Wow.
sign language. Yeah, but I got to just loosen these bad boys up and my family more. That usually does it. When I come back from visiting my family, all my family's in Vegas. Just outside of Vegas. And there's a big deaf community there. So when I get back, my hands are like, ow, okay, this is like the liniment. Are we still calling it liniment?
Yeah, right.
You soak them in tea, like hot tea, like you would your throat.
Yeah, and then I put them in ice, and it's just like, get it together. This is cool. Now, who's Anthony? Hey, Tony.
Hey, baby, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Really great. I apologize for that.
No, it's cool.
It was just
totally
one of those incidents where if my boo is not here, he is my tech support with benefits.
Nice.
Straight up, that's a whole bit that I do.
All right. So, my apologies. We didn't introduce ourselves to Tony, and this is Andy.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, Andy.
Very
That
nice.
was my grandfather's name.
Oh,
Nice.
awesome. He must have been a really cool guy.
Andres.
Well, I'm Greek, so some of my older Greek relatives growing up were Andrea, come here. Come
yeah,
here.
that's right. And Antonio is my father's middle name.
Oh, very nice.
And my son's middle name. Yeah. So see, there's a lot in common.
Very nice.
Synergy.
That's right.
Synergy.
We can feel it. That's right.
Is dope.
Well, yeah,
Are we
dope.
still saying dope?
Well, dope's is definitely the good word for us.
I said it when I was a teenager, but I don't think I can anymore with all this gray hair.
You're right.
No, embrace those gray hairs. That's the whole point.
Oh, absolutely. But
I am so into, like, you guys are not boomers. I'm a boomer. And I am so into celebrating the fact that age is just like, it's such a silly notion these days.
Right.
Have you been on TikTok and seen these 70-year-olds?
Yeah, but you have to understand, a lot of them, or most of them, don't look like you.
Yeah. Well, that's what that's my thing, that, there's a, how people say age ain't nothing but a number?
Right.
My thing is that it's two numbers. It's your chronological age and it's your biological age. So when I go to my doctor and he goes, wow, you have the heart of a 50-year-old. Thank you. And just recently somebody, what was it? I forgot what it was. I went to see a doctor and there was something that he said that I had the biological age of about a 39-year-old.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll
After we had
that.
sex, I told him that. Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Well, Jimmy Stewart was once on Johnny Carson, and Johnny Carson says to Jimmy Stewart, "Wow, you look really great. How old are you? Because you're only as old as how you feel." And Jimmy Stewart said, "Well, if that was true, I'd be dead." Always my favorite. One of my favorite jokes of all time.
I gotta look that up because that's really good. This is all part of like my one-woman show that I'm staging in the spring.
Oh, cool!
Freak of Nature.
I'm sorry.
Freak of Nature. Isn't that the one?
Sir.
Yeah.
Nice.
I did my research.
He does his research. He's good.
Good job, Tony.
Thanks.
You're okay, Tony.
Well, and how's that going? You just started that last year, right?
Well, actually, the funny thing about that show is I wrote that show in 19.
Oh,
and
wow.
John Leguizamo's production company was hot for it, really interested in doing it.
Nice.
And the pandemic hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And everything shut down. So now, 4 years later, retooling it, rebooting it. It has to actually, it's 4 years later. Right. So I'm still in the edit part of it, but I found a theater. I found a fabulous local theater that's been. Are you guys familiar with New Jersey at all? As you Long Island?
I know it's between us and Pennsylvania.
It's on the other side of the George Washington Bridge.
Right. Yep.
I'm with you guys. I'm from Brooklyn and Queens.
Right.
I never thought I would have left to go to New Jersey.
Oh, so that's where you live now?
I live in Teaneck. New Jersey, which is
Teaneck's
just
nice.
over the George.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I went from being a Brooklyn project girl to a suburban, which is a Puerto Rican with equity.
That's great.
So I found a really great. So there's a town called Hackensack, and Hackensack is always being dogged in movies. Whenever they have to have some negative comment, people will bring up. Have you heard it ever in a movie?
Well, I was going to say Saturday Night Live, those early years, whenever they would do any sort of commercial, it was always like in Hackensack, New Jersey. Like was the
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you,
Well,
you.
I think
Candy.
Billy Joel.
I knew you were good people.
Who needs a house out in Hackensack? Yak, 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 yak. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, that's the whole thing. So Hackensack has been gentrified, honey. Let me tell you. They took it, and it's right off of one of the main train stations that come into this area.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of young couples moving in.
Nice.
They don't want kids. They want dog parks. That's what they want. They don't want playgrounds. And so it's really, really becoming expensive and gentrifying. And so there's this theater called the Hackensack Performing Arts Center, which is from the 1800s.
Oh, wow.
Remember in Sixth Sense when he looked up and saw the woman hanging?
Yeah.
And it was an old school. Dude, that's the vibe I get every time I'm in there.
Oh, man.
But it's been updated. So it has a really nice, cool vibe. The difference between taping my show there and taping it in New York, I mean, I thought about it. I'm like, this is cool. It's got the look. It's funky. It's a half hour from the city. And it's a wonderful, wonderful facility. Just the right size. Not too big, not too small. And they are going to help me tape it. They believe in the show. I got the Chamber of Commerce behind it. So I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. So it looks like we're going to be taping it and filming it in sometime in February, March of next year. So
Very
finally,
nice.
Super cool.
5 years in.
I'm definitely going to reach out to you on social and follow you on social media.
Thank you. And
because I
FREAK
want
is an acronym. It's an acronym for the 5 elements of life that I think have helped me to remain fabulous.
And obviously they work.
And obviously I believe it, right? Forgive, rebel, exfoliate, acquire, and kiss.
Nice.
Ooh, I
So
like
I
that.
delve into each comedically, and I have a lot of really great images that I put together just for fun.
Well,
Yeah, I've seen that, right? You have that big screen a lot in your act. Yeah, okay.
Oh, I love that.
So
I love when
just
people take
original-
other aspects.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a lot of original images that Tech Support with Benefits has been putting together for me. So it's a real family project. And I just think it's a really, honestly, if it were not my show, I would say this is an important piece of art because of where we are in our, in time, where we see ages being redefined like crazy. We're not going anywhere. And baby boomers own most of the world.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a massive wealth transfer when this generation, the last of it, which is us. And did you know that there is a sub-generation in the baby boomer generation? A lot of people don't know this.
Well, there are in every generation, but which is
exactly
what is yours?
Generation Jones.
Generation Jones.
From the youngest baby boomers, the first part of the baby boomers was still connected to the silent generation.
Sure.
The World War II.
Yeah.
And now the younger one is more associated, let's say, with Vietnam, and we were the rebellious ones. We were the ones that were out there, blah, blah, blah. Well, not maybe with that part of it, but I started being very rebellious 77 and started joining up with all kinds of groups and rah-rah, fighting the Klan, fighting Nazis, whatever.
Wow.
So we had a different exposure to what was going on in America. And we had the last of those opportunities.
Right.
So people are mad at our generation, but that was what was handed to us. Not us.
When you said Generation Jones, I was like, Shirley Jones? Like the Partridge Family?
She would be the first part, right?
Right.
Yeah, right.
She would be the first part. No, Generation Jones is actually where Keeping Up with the Joneses
Oh,
originated.
okay.
Oh, okay.
So nobody knows that. It's like just a teeny little piece of information when I started researching for the show.
That makes sense because what it leads into is Gen X, which is what we are. He's more towards the front end. I'm more towards the back end of Gen X.
You guys are Gen X.
Yeah, that everybody was trying to sell everything to us.
Right.
So it does. It kind of, I can see what you're saying. It goes from like the Keeping Up with the Joneses and buying and acquiring and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, like there was us where they were like, hey, get these this sugar cereal. Here's these toys that we made a cartoon out of, just to sell you the toys. So
yeah.
That's
your generation is tough as hell too. Your generation was still drinking from the hose in the street and from the fire hydrant.
feral.
And then the millennials landed.
Yeah.
Well, it's all of
Those
our
are my
fault for them.
kids.
It's all of our fault for
Yeah.
them. We all made them that way. So
I mean, I raised I have two. I raised my children to understand that they had to lie in the bed that they made. I just didn't know the bed was still going to be in my house. That's the issue.
that's good. Nice.
So yeah, when you left for New Jersey, you left them in the old house.
Right.
I wish. No, my kids were a little small when I moved out here. We moved out here. I lived in Brooklyn. I'm a Brooklyn girl. I'm a project girl from Bed-Stuy.
Do or
I know
die.
you're shocked. You thought I was one of those East Hampton Puerto Ricans. I know. I know. All none of us. None. Of us.
Yeah, I don't think they let you guys in there. I don't think.
Redlining's real.
I've been to a couple of rallies out in Long Island. But
Right.
Wow.
Cool.
so I'm from Brooklyn and grew up in the projects. Hard times, but
Yeah.
as difficult as it was, I had a wonderful childhood. It was just, in a shitty area. I lived in the projects. I'm a project girl, and just yesterday I was telling somebody that the drugs came in. We didn't bring the drugs.
Right.
We didn't have that choice.
Right.
I actually am old enough to remember when the projects were nice.
Oh wow.
They were nice when we first moved in, and then it just got really, really banged up. And the playground there was no playground equipment growing up. We had prostitutes and junkies to play with, so we played with them.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that myself.
Yeah, we played with them. They fed us. They gave us snacks. They helped us with our homework. They were like good rat nannies. It was okay.
Really?
We didn't play games like kick the can. It was like tag the hoe. Hey!
Tag the
The
hoe.
hot pipe. Pass the hot pipe. The crackhead. Yeah, it was not. We didn't play normal games.
Right.
Yeah, so it was rough.
I used to work for the phone company here on Long Island, but I worked in a not so great neighborhood, and we used to actually leave our truck doors unlocked because some of the crack hoes and some of the prostitutes would actually go in our trucks at night and sleep.
Right.
We used to. And we would come in the morning and we'd open the door, like, all right, come on, let's go.
Yeah,
Come back
that's
tonight.
cool.
Oh yeah.
You're
That
okay,
happened all the
Tony.
time.
Yeah,
I
they're
try.
not. Most addicts are not criminals. They're
No.
just addicted. They have a medical issue, and they shouldn't be treated like criminals. My brother was a drug addict for most of my life. My brother died at 62. He blew his heart out. You can't keep doing heroin and crack and bless his heart. May he rest in peace. We had a lot of drugs in the family.
Oh wow.
He was actually the one who turned me on to weed in '69.
Weed's all
It's
right.
always somebody in the family.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, when Apollo was landing on the moon, I was already spaced out. Wow.
You're like, I'm higher than that spaceship.
Wait, they're only at the moon?
Exactly, right.
I'm in another
So-
dimension.
Are you guys from Long Island originally?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I'm originally from Astoria, and when
I know Astoria.
when my parents split, we came out here, but we would go back every other weekend to visit my dad.
So who went to Long Island, mom or dad?
Mom grew up out here. They originally lived in the housing projects that used to be in Long Beach, the government housing that was in Long Beach for the post-World
nice
World War
there,
II.
though.
Yeah, no, it was very nice. But then my grandfather worked for the railroad, so they went all the way out to Port Jeff because it's the end of that line, and that was the line that he was on. He'd do it 3 times a day. So
Wow.
And you said the Bronx. You said, right?
no, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Sorry.
Don't
sorry.
mess that up.
I know. Well,
What do you? It's the Latina.
sorry.
What do you think's gonna happen? You messed up.
Sorry.
Because my family's from the Bronx. I was getting all screwed up.
I love the Bronx.
But but they came out here before I existed. So, but that's
So you don't know what that's like up there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I lived in Astoria when it was still Astoria, and it wasn't all these man buns and beer garden things.
I have a man bun.
I wouldn't call that a man bun.
Yeah, I
Is
wouldn't
this
either.
a chick bun?
You're way too hot for that to be a man bun.
All right.
And too classy to be a chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm abroad. It's cool. Thank you.
Hey, know your lane. Yeah.
Exactly, and stay in it.
So, all right. So this weekend at the brokerage in Belmore. So what? What time do you leave? Because it'll take like 13 hours probably through all the traffic.
It's a Friday. It's
Alex told
a
me,
Friday in the summer.
He said, pick me up at 2 so we could be there at 8.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No, that's real though.
It might
No,
be.
I know.
Yeah.
We're a little, going out there, I think is the bigger issue. Coming back is always is much, much faster.
Oh,
I'm
sure.
just over the George.
Right.
I'm like literally like 10 minutes from the George.
Yeah, but it's that cross Bronx. That's what ends up being.
That's the issue.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what do you do? Are you actually going home tonight after the show and coming back tomorrow?
Well, you know what? We were looking for an Airbnb, and I don't think we found anything that was available for one night.
Oh, wow.
And then when we saw
summer.
that it was going to take not that long to get back, I was like, let's just do it.
Right.
Wow.
But, you're used to it. Usually I try to get a hotel out of it, but it's my first time in brokerage. I'm excited.
That was actually my next question. Yeah, because I don't recall, you ever being there. So that's great. And you're going to love it there. It's an intimate, it's a good room, and Long Island crowds are the best. You're going to have
I heard good things about it. Do you guys know Joey Vega?
I do know the name.
Yeah.
The name. He's worked out there.
He was. I think he was just here a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Recently, he was there a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
He told me nothing but good things. He said, "I'll have a good set. It's a good crowd."
Absolutely.
He said, "Just don't talk politics."
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it is really 50-50 here, so you're
Yes.
going to lose half the people.
You don't really go there much anyway, do you?
No. Oh, I thought you were, yeah.
No.
He said it would be about 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying in your act, though, you usually don't go into politics much, do you?
I have some political stuff, but it's just silly. It's not really making fun of anyone. Like I talk about when Obama first got inaugurated. I was so jealous. I wanted to be Michelle Obama. Oh, God, I haven't done this joke in so long. And I pictured him. Remember when he was dancing with her, so sexy?
Yeah.
And I was just picturing in her hair talking because he was just all over her that night. And he was like, "Yeah, girl." Wait, how does the joke go? "Yeah, Mom. Oh, yeah, girl. I got your Washington Monument right here. Be all up in this Oval Office tonight."
That's fantastic.
I was wondering, do they change the mattress at the White House? Because Bush peed that a couple of times. He peed it a couple of times.
Oh,
That's the most I do politically.
Yeah.
That would totally be
You'd
cool.
be all right with that
Totally
here, yeah.
cool.
I think that's safe. And then I was going to say, I actually have done this one and it worked okay, where I say, look, I'm not going to talk politics. I'm not pro anybody. But does anybody think that bathroom, remember when they showed the bathroom with all those boxes in it?
Yeah.
Could they update the bathroom? What's up with that fucked up bathroom? And I've been hearing that a lot.
You know what?
That was like my one comment.
You can tell that's not his primary bathroom because the toilet is regular. It's not a gold toilet.
No, but it's so low.
Yeah, and it's low. Yeah,
that toilet is.
yeah. That's for the help.
That's like a squatter. That's a squatter. A squatter potty.
Right. To make the.
But it was just so tacky. They had a chandelier over the toilet bowl and the shitty shower curtain that you could get at the Dollar Tree. Like, what the hell? Dude,
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
That shit. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that there were people walking around going, Gladys, we really could find a nicer place to stay. Like, I just don't understand the need to stay there. It's so outdated. And like, do you love him that much that you don't understand that you should be like in a glistening chrome and like marble bathroom by now?
Well, I bet you they can find Airbnbs down there.
Yeah.
My God, Florence style of decorating died a long time ago. Like, it's really, that was the only thing I noticed. I didn't even see the boxes. I saw the bathroom.
Well, what do you expect when, the last two presidents are pushing 80? They're old men. They don't have fashion sense.
Yeah, put it in the bathroom. That way I know I'll see it.
Yeah,
no,
right.
I mean, I'm guaranteed to see it at least maybe 10 times a day.
Sir, how are you going to get through all of this material? Just put it in the bathroom.
Oh my God, what a mess. What a hot mess. So like I said, I don't opine either way. It's the safest way. I'm there to have a good time.
Absolutely.
I don't want to fight with the audience. I'm not an insult comic.
Right.
I don't go there.
You're going to have a blast.
Fun.
Yeah.
I hope so. I'm looking forward to it. I have a lot of people coming out too. It's
Oh, very nice. Well, so we wish you the best this weekend, and
thank you, Tony.
Hopefully, we get you in the studio here with us one of these days. We'd love to talk to you some more.
Yeah, Yeah, move it to the afternoon for the Jersey people.
Okay, we'll have to do
Different
that.
time
yeah.
zone, yeah.
Actually, yeah,
It
right.
was wonderful meeting both of you, though.
You
Thank
too.
so much for
Have a
this.
great weekend out
Had
at
a blast.
the brokerage.
I hope you kill it.
Thanks,
Thank
Sarah.
you.
You're trying to make it look like the
Yeah,
interview
that
just ended.
Exactly.
There you go. Sarah Contreras. She's fantastic.
Great.
Go
Very
see her.
funny lady. Such great energy. You're gonna just sitting in my house. I was dying laughing at some of her stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. She's got a little bit Rosie Perez. She has kind of a little bit of that same
well,
energy.
you know they got the PR thing going on.
Yeah, sure.
That's but yeah, she's very cool, very funny, very fun to talk to her.
Sorry, I've had enough. I'm just throwing things.
Fucking suddenly you're Russ Silverman. Throwing fucking pieces of paper.
I'm just checking off stuff that I already did. All right, Carol said she's nowhere near the the tornadoes. That's good. You can sleep in a Verizon truck, says Chris. Yes, you can. I don't know about now. I mean, I've been retired for several years from there, but the trucks that I had, they had the big bench seat, so you could lay down.
Nice.
And I was a lineman. I put poles in and stuff, so we had the big trucks.
I'm a lineman for the county.
And I drive the main road. So the trucks were, they're big trucks, so the cab was high up, so you could lay down and nobody, people walk by, you can't see.
Right.
So lunchtime, it used to be perfect. If you're shot, you just lay down in the truck. I put on the AC. Oh, it was great. Let's see. So the phone lines are open. 516-465-3990. If anybody wants free passes to see Sara Contreras tonight.
I'm like, what are you doing opening up the phone line?
Well, yeah.
Like it immediately starts ringing.
Hello, Tony. This is
the air. The bad air. I couldn't pretend like you do. Oh, you got me.
I know. Yeah.
Even though I know it's like you're at the end. Oh yeah, you got me.
I gotta start backing off again. I believe on that one. So Chris Thomas, I met Sarah. Oh, she meant Sarah after her show. Who needs an Airbnb? Oh, got it. Hey, Tony Baloney.
That's really hot. Why are you just going over that?
Oh, me and Sarah sleeping in the truck?
No, Chris and Sarah. Wow.
Well, anything with Chris Thomas is hot. She could be eating a big giant roast beef sandwich and it would be hot because it's Chris Thomas.
Sorry, I'm glad, I'm just glad that like there's no thing that projects my mental images. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, hey Tony Baloney, this is Mookie Wilson. Yeah, that call I would probably take even if it was him pretending to be Mookie.
There's no way you would. This is a bat. I'm a Mets bat. I just wish he would just imitate or just impersonate actually people, not things. Because then it would get
yeah, true.
It would go a little bit, but you got to give us something to hold on to. This is what I'm saying.
So speaking of Mookie,
sexting, are you?
No, it's weird. Speaking of Mookie, the guy that hooked me up with Mookie is texting me right now.
Oh wow.
And I'm writing to him, hey, I'm on the air, fucker.
Right.
The show that you haven't been come on, because he owns a sports complex, and he also owns and it's also a company where they go out to various locations, to run leagues and to do clinics and they handle some of my daughter's, some of the programs we have at PAL.
Right. Maybe his balls were burning because we were talking about Mookie Wilson.
My balls are burning. All right, so.
Wow.
Oh, so you asked me before we went on the air, and I feel bad because I should have loaded up some pictures and some video because it's the first show back since Don's wedding.
Right.
I should have been more prepared. I did not load anything up to show you guys.
Right.
So I could show you. I just have to use my phone. It was a great night. This place is near you.
Yeah, and actually, like I said, if you keep going down that road is West Meadow Beach.
Okay.
Which is got some great sandbars that you can like walk out to.
Oh,
and
no
whatnot,
kidding.
because it's a Soundside beach, and it's there's a bit of a behind the Oldfield Club. Actually, there's a bit of a marina.
Okay.
Of sorts that the people can park their boats, mooring stations.
Nice.
It's a great beach. We often joke though, like because it's a west-facing beach, which is great because you do get to see sunsets.
Okay. Oh, nice.
But that also means is you're looking at Northport smokestacks. Which that's like the only thing, and you can see Connecticut. For like you turn to your right, you can see Connecticut. It's just like a very North Shore,
right? Yeah,
kind of beach. Like it's just the water is always calm. It's a great place to bring kids.
Right. Yeah.
But that Oldfield Club, we go by there all the time, and like they're the kind of club where like the people who are playing tennis have to wear all white. You know, like which is like something that's been lost.
Yes.
In the world. I mean, it comes up every. No, it doesn't. They don't even talk about it every year at Wimbledon. But like, remember when we were young and you had like Andre Agassi, and he had that like that green, or some people call it yellow, and I never know fucking. It looks fucking green to me, but that like neon green kind of thing, and how like he was not allowed to wear that to Wimbledon, and he had to wear all white.
He was a dick to Brooke Shields.
Yeah, I mean you like. The guy was not set up for much success with interpersonal relationships with his life, but not that I'm defending him, but it's not surprising, I guess.
So we go there, and I was actually shocked because I really expected to take like 25A or 347, and because I knew it was near you, so
you got to Nichols, like you took the expressway to Nichols or something to Nichols all the way up, and then you start.
No,
really,
it took me. Waze took me to Northern State.
Yeah, okay.
As soon as you get off Northern State, I had to make a left onto some road.
Oh, I know where you go, and then through Smithtown.
Through Smithtown, through Northport, but it was all inside roads. I'm like, where?
Well, no, it wouldn't be anywhere near Northport. It would be Comac, like the end of the Northern State.
I'm telling you, we went through Northport at one point. I'm positive of that because I know Northport a tiny bit. I'm telling you, we went through Northport
because there's this pinch point at Kings Park, and that's actually where the Bull is, where 25A and 25 merge.
Okay.
And so that's surprising that it didn't just bring you to the end of the Northern State, turn left, go up to Middle Country Road, and then just start going. And then you meet up with 25A. Then you go through 25A through St. James and Stony Brook before you get to...
Everything you're saying is true, but I'm telling you, we did go through Northport at one point as well.
Wow.
Positive of that. No doubt in my mind. Yeah. It was very strange because there were a couple times I was heading west. I'm like, where is this thing taking me? Because Waze does that. Waze will take
to
you
avoid
traffic spots. So sometimes it is you looking at it on a map or something. It's longer, but it's quicker at that time because
even
traffic.
The Sunken Meadow deposits you in Kings Park. Like
right.
So, if you'd taken whatever to the Sunken Meadow Parkway, it would have brought you right to Kings Park.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It didn't. We didn't. We didn't go Sunken Meadow. It went to the end of Northern State, which is what 454
is Vets Highway and 347.
Right. And it was like one of the very first lefts as soon as you come off, and it was like right there.
But then Northport's already behind you.
Like right. So I know. That's my point.
Okay, so Waze fucked you up, man.
It was very strange, but then even coming home too, it took us through all these inside roads. Like, where the hell are we? Finally hit 111. I'm like, oh, thank God. Now I know where I am.
Oh, now I feel because I was going to drive by and just honk my horn as I was driving by.
That would.
But fucking Daphne had her stupid fucking concert, and then I was going to the mic.
I used to date an older lady that lived off old nipples. Oh my goodness. So. Now Don, so it was a 7:00 wedding. He said, "Get there, get there at 4." He goes, "We're gonna have like in between 4:30 and 5. We're gonna do a rehearsal."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, no problem." So Lisa and the kids come. Now, my daughter, autism. She, not that she didn't want to be there, but
it was not comfortable.
Yeah. And the fact that we're, getting there at 3 hours early for a 7 o'clock wedding.
Right.
So we get there, and we're a beautiful place, but we're just sitting there, and we're sitting there, and we're sitting there. Joey Petroni shows up. Joey Petroni was DJing. So at least I got, bullshit with him for a while, and I love Joey. He's just the nicest guy. And I actually told him, I've said it before on this show, Joey Petroni, I'm sure you guys know, it's not his real name, but he does kind of have like a whole separate life. It's not just a stage name. He has a Joey Petroni life. And if you watch Good Times, Bad Times, or when you watch when he's been on here, or when he does some stuff with Don, he's been around on various things. He has some outrageous stories from his life. Right. And it's gotten to the point where I don't know what's true and what's not.
Right.
So sure enough, he's setting up for the wedding, and we're talking about different things, and he's bringing up this, how he used to work here, and he used to do this, and he used to do that. So I finally said it to him. I said, first off, what are we calling you tonight? I said, is Joey Petroni the DJ, or is your real name the DJ? And I said, secondly, I don't know if I should believe half the stuff you tell me. And we just had a good laugh. He's such a good guy. I love that guy. So at least I got to talk to him for a few minutes, and his wife was there. She's really nice, too. But, my daughter was getting pissed off. Don didn't show up. It was a few minutes before 5:30. I'm like, son, and he was the first.
You motherfucker.
Yeah, so I was like, son of, but, and then I was hungry because Don originally, you guys know about me and my weird eating habits. Don had originally told me that there'd be nothing that I would like. So, I'm sitting there with Lisa and the kids. We're waiting, and then because we didn't get there till about 4:15, maybe a little before that. And Don told me be there at 4. So I don't like being late. That's a big pet peeve of mine. I'd rather get somewhere half hour early than be 15 minutes late. So they're saying, well, why don't we go get McDonald's or something? There's plenty of time. Nobody's here. And I go, no, I don't feel comfortable leaving. So Zach took my car. He found some McDonald's. So at least we got,
Oh, wow, he had to go. I know exactly.
Oh yeah, and he was all pissed. He's
Jesus
like,
Christ,
it took me 20 minutes.
That would not have been the choice for.
It was fine. I mean, again, and it's Lisa and the kids had nothing to do.
Right.
It was all they were all there for me. So I don't care if it took them an hour. Right. But yeah. So he made his way back, and I got to eat some McDonald's, and I felt a little better. I was like, all right. So at least I get some food in me because I don't even know how long the wedding was because it was a Tuesday night.
Right.
I didn't know how long this thing was going. So, and also I have to admit, I started to get nervous. Very similar to doing stand-up for the first time, which was right in this building, because just like stand-up, unless you're doing a Dracula or a character, most comedians are going out there just as themselves, and they're just talking. And I'm still not used to that. I'm used to doing a murder mystery or a play or a movie where I'm a character. So when I'm doing, I take that back. First time I did comedy was at the Brokers, not here. But that first night, and you were there, I was a mess. No
kidding. Yeah, I'm so happy you're admitting to this. I've been wanting to say this for a long time.
And I always remember the best example I have about how nervous I was afterwards. I was still like in a state of shock. And this couple that I know from down in Wantar, our kids grew up together. They came to support, and when they were leaving, they came to say goodbye, and I grabbed the husband, I kissed him on the cheek, and I shook the hand of the wife. Like, that's how screwed up I was in my head.
Oh, I thought that was normal for you.
And I even turned to him, I go, did I just kiss you and shake her hand? He goes, yeah, you did, dude. I'm like, what the fuck? But it was kind of like the same thing. I never officiated a wedding before. Right. I was nervous. I'm like, so now I have to be myself. But this time I can't even attempt to be funny. Like, this has got to be real.
Dearly beloved.
Right. It got to be sentimental. And
for the union of Dunn with Wendy.
Well, nice like a baseball announcer.
As the Lord said unto ye.
Well, yeah, luckily I didn't have to do much of that.
Right.
We worked out a script. Don, Wendy, and I worked out a script of what we were going to say. So it was fine. We added a few, personal
Pauses
touches
for
and stuff.
laughter.
I actually did a little bit. I threw a little bit of stuff in there, like we found this script and we were looking at it, and there was one part where we're acknowledging all the guests. We you are all here because you're important to Wendy and Don, and some of you have worked with them, some of you have known them since childhood, that type of thing. So then I added, some of you have made a movie with them. And then there was something. Oh, then there was another part. Wendy. Don. Wendy loves you because you do this, and because you're sensitive, and because you're nice and funny. All these things. So when it came up to Wendy's turn, first thing I said, Wendy, Don loves you because you're so supportive every time he wants to go to Governor's. And then they were getting little laughs, and then towards the end.
That was one of them. No,
yeah, right.
Ooh, tough room.
Right.
Yo, fuck you guys. This killed at the brokerage. That would be so fucking...
Weddings, am I right? So at one point...
If you know what I'm saying.
Towards the end, I pulled out my phone and I took a selfie with all the guests in the background. Nice. So that went over big. So, it was really nice. And it's so funny because I've looked pictures that have been posted ever since. Like Nancy Rizzuto, I believe, she took a ton of pictures.
Right.
And there's one picture of me walking, because at the end we're all walking down the procession. There's a picture of me like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, every picture I'm in just makes sure I'm kind of like this. I'm like, I was so relieved when it was done. No, but it all went well. And then Joey Petroni did a super job as the DJ. Up. Yeah. Oh, and Don. So I'm sorry. The ceremony was really nice. It was outside. Perfect weather, a little hot, but perfect for it.
Yeah, it was a very nice day.
Yeah.
And there's always a good breeze actually over there.
Yes.
It's almost never still in that area.
So it was nice. And Don and Wendy, when they were doing their vows, Don actually teared up, which I thought was really nice. Did you get ordained Universal Life Church, or did you register with New York State? Yeah, I just registered with New York State. Actually, I take that back. I registered with the marriage something. I don't know what it was.
I'm so happy nobody's trying to type this into.
It was the marriage.
The marriage.
I don't remember. It was something marriage, but there was an M. Marriage, something. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I'm still ordained in the Big Lebowski church, the Church of Lebowski.
That's hilarious.
I think I did that very early, in 2000.
If I knew that existed, I would have done that.
Or some shit.
Whatever it was, it's recognized by New York State. So I'm like,
right.
It was the marriage something. So that's all. Marriage, says Karen.
Marriage.
It's recognized by the state. It took me 10 minutes to register. It cost $50. Done. And so we were able to do it. It was just really nice. And again, Joey did a bang up job. The weird thing with this whole thing. I'll get to this, but so we're talking about eating McDonald's and stuff. Turned out they had a buffet, and turned out there was a carving station with steak. I'm like, they must have added this later.
Right.
And then the buffet, they had a whole you grab the tongs, you grab your food, it's on big plates, but they had this big heated thing of French fries. I'm like, oh my God, this is wonderful.
Maybe he was setting you up to be surprised.
Yeah, I wonder.
There's not going to be anything for you to eat, Tony. And then you get there and you're like,
Yeah, I haven't talked to him about it yet.
I bet he did it for you.
He had said to me,
"What a waste, Don."
Well, he did. He came to me and he said, "There's not going to be any food." He goes, "Do you like chicken fingers?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "I got to get chicken fingers and fries for one other person." He says, "I can order that for you too." I go, "All right, well, yeah, I'll take a plate of fries." I said, that's fine, I expected this tiny little plate with 5 fries on it, but then there's this big tub where you can help yourself. I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. And then to see the carving station with steak, there was there was some broccoli and carrots. I'm like, this is my everyday meal right here. I'm like, this is beautiful.
Sweet.
So, excuse me. So the weirdest thing.
that was a sense memory.
Yeah, right. Thinking about the steak and fries.
Man, that was good.
So, as you guys know, if you've been around, watching these shows for a while, in 2021, Don unfortunately lost his younger brother. Died suddenly. from like an aneurysm thing. So, like I said, me, Lisa, and the kids were the first ones there. The maitre d', this guy's name was Carlos, didn't look exactly like Don's brother, but like it was one of those things where you just kind of stop for a second.
Kind of make you double take.
Yeah. But I didn't say it. I kept it to myself, right? Don gets there. A few minutes later, Don's father comes. And I love Don's father. Great guy. His name is also Don, Uncle Don. I'm walking with him, and sure enough, he stops dead in his tracks. And I turn. I go, "What's the matter?" Because I didn't see the guy at that moment, he stops. He goes, "Who's that guy over there?" And I said, "Why are you asking?" He goes, "He looks like Greg."
Right.
I said, "Uncle Donald," I said, "I got to be honest." I said, "I thought the same thing when I first saw the guy." He goes, "Who is that?" I go, "He's the maitre d'. He's the guy in charge here." He actually went to him. He goes, "You look like my son."
No,
And then so we even said, that this is, and they even had this little sign that they put on one of the chairs in the front, reserved for Greg Sill. And I'm like, oh my good. And Greg was such a super guy.
At military formal dinners, there's always a table that will have 4 chairs.
Oh, no kidding.
Leaned up like they're reserved chairs, and it's to symbolize the people that we've lost in the service, and for all 4 services.
Yeah, and so it was.
That's a very sweet. That's always the most.
Yep.
Somber and
the sign got me, and then to see this guy. So Uncle Donald even said, he goes, "This is just a sign that he's here." And I said, "Absolutely." And then you can hear everybody on Don's family, like I heard it so many times. "Who's that guy? That looks like Greg." Oh my God.
Right.
So then there was a part. I'm so mad I didn't punch up pictures here. So there was a part.
Use your words to make the picture.
I will. I'll set the tone. So
Sicily.
It came to the point where the best man and the matron of honor give their speeches, right. And this was really cool too. Don's son was the best man,
nice,
and his father was the second best man.
Nice.
Don, if you guys don't know this, Don Sill, he is such a family man.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a good father. I consider myself close to my kids, but Don takes it to another level.
Yeah, no, definitely.
He really does, and he gets it from his father. So, just again, big family men, and they've been through a lot. Don didn't have a relationship with his mother for a long time, and there's been a lot of drama in their lives, and so him and his dad have a special bond, and so it was, and the son too. So it was really nice to hear these speeches. But then Don has 4 daughters. 2 of them came up; they gave speeches, and so Don and Wendy are sitting there. Everybody who gave a speech came to their right. So Wendy's here, Don's here, and then whoever was speaking was to their right. But to the left, the whole audience, all the guests, we're right in front of them. Mm-hmm. To Don's left was like this room where the buffet was. Okay. Right. Now at this point, the buffet was already done. They had closed the doors. Now they're not. These doors are not like sliding glass doors. They're, I don't know how to describe it. Like they're like almost like tiles, but they're like blurred, kind of.
Like French doors with like frosted glass.
Thank you. That's it. Perfect. Thank you.
If you don't have the words, I do. I've never been in this fucking place. I just want you to know.
Heavily frosted. You can see through them, but very blurred, right? So his daughters, Haley and Mandy were up together. I mean, they gave separate speeches, but they were standing up there together. And I'm standing to their right. I'm standing right there with Joey Petroni. And so I'm to the right. So, so everything in front of me are the people giving speeches, Don, Wendy, and the frosted doors. So the girls are giving their speeches, and all of a sudden this maitre d' is standing on the other side of the doors watching.
Oh, wow. And there's like a light behind him, and it's hit right. Yeah, like it's one of those moments. Yeah.
So I immediately pull out my phone. I'm taking pictures after picture. And I showed Don and his father afterwards. I'm like, does that not look like Greg is there watching?
Right.
And they're like, holy shit, wow. Like, you got to send us this. So I'll try to punch it up on Monday, and I'll show you guys. But I don't know. I was kind of like, I was kind of proud of myself that I caught that.
Right.
But at the same time, it was just so surreal to me.
Right.
It kind of screwed me up for a few minutes.
You know, he actually called me that night.
Don did?
Yeah, because he didn't know what to do in the bedroom. And so I just dropped a few pointers and I just wanted to add my own into, I'm sure, the chorus of, hey, with tonight, you know, you're, but I guess it was be in front of his kids, so it would be a little weird. So nobody probably actually did that.
You know, not only did nobody do that, but it's just hitting me now.
I was going to do that for my video.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, I fucked up because I was at a show, and what I wanted to do was after the show, like do my closer and have somebody filming it and just be like, and just like start walking out and like have like two of the guys, like one of the guys like holding whoever's filming it because they're going to be backing up.
Right.
And just be, hi, I'm Long Island Comedy's Andy Plagainos. I just want to wish Don and Wendy a very happy, like I had this whole thing I wanted to do, and then I got high and I forgot. So I was like, fuck.
I thought the video that you did make was funny. I liked it.
I wanted to be short, and that's
it was short. That's
short,
for sure.
Sweet,
yeah,
and just like because it's funny because Carrie had done her fake one, right, and I was on the toilet when I saw it, and I'm like, oh, this is perfect.
Right. Oh, Christy did the fake one.
Oh, it was yes, it was Christy.
Right,
yes,
yeah.
yes. So when I saw her fake one, and I'm like, I was on the toilet and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fucking.
The
classic.
Bosie one I thought was really funny. Him.
Well, I also was on the fence about because when it was Thanksgiving, was it Thanksgiving? It was something, it was some holiday during like some form of lockdown, and we all made videos of like Happy Thanksgiving or something, or somebody's birthday, and I made one where I set up my camera like on my wife's side of the bed, and I took off my shirt and I laid in bed and I like turned over like I had been sleeping, and I was like, this is like 2020, like some point in 2020, and I'm like, hey, I just want to wish whatever, and then I turned back over and then I edited out me starting and stopping it,
right,
and I sent it to him, and I wanted to almost do like a continuation of that.
Oh, okay.
But I'm like, well, then this is just like complete. I'm probably the only person who remembers this,
right?
So I'm not gonna. That is the knock on me, is I do try sometimes to be way too layered,
right,
and too smart to and so I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, on the toilet's good.
We actually did a murder mystery like that. We have our redneck wedding, and it's always a hit wherever we do it. And we had done it at some firehouse, and this firehouse, 2 years, it was a year or two later, they were bringing us back. So we're like, oh, well, we just did this firehouse. We'll do part 2 to this redneck wedding. They're going to love it.
Right.
Like at least half the place wasn't there So we're like, if you guys remember, we did this. So now, and we walked out of there so embarrassed. It was so stupid.
Yeah, sometimes you can overthink it.
Absolutely, absolutely right. But we had a great time. All the best to Don and Wendy. This thing ended at midnight.
Oh wow!
So I didn't get home till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Holy shit! I totally could have fucking crashed.
Oh, you could have crashed it. Actually, and I honest to God, this is true. Don did say that to me during the wedding. He goes, I'm pissed. He goes, I should have invited Andy. He did. He said that to me.
Well, I had it ended up being like it was Daphne's first concert.
Oh, okay,
I would have. That would have been really, really, really tough. Like I probably would have done one of those, like been there for the ceremony, ran out, and then ran back. Like at worst case scenario. But actually, he did me a solid by not inviting me. I like I said, there were times where I wanted to go by and like honk, but I knew it would be a little later, so. Yeah. When I was available to go by and honk would have been like when you first got there.
Right.
Would have been right after I get up the girls off from the school bus. It takes like 5 minutes to get there from my house. And then I would have been,
and I would have been like, shut the fuck up. Who is, what the?
I thought this looked like a very exclusive area.
Right. They're too uppity for that.
It is a very North Shore.
Oh, you totally get that vibe.
Area in that.
Yeah.
But like the beach ends up being, I can't tell you how many times when I was a kid we smoked weed at that beach, where friends of mine were dealing in that in that parking lot. It was. They used to have great beach volleyball courts there.
Actually, somebody mentioned that to me. Well,
they have them there now, but it used to be really well kept. Mm-hmm. I mean, it might have been 92, 93 kind of time frame.
And the food was fantastic. So it was a great time, and So I'll so on Monday I'll
congratulations, you guys.
Absolutely,
really
I'll bring some pictures in and show them to you in some video on Monday. And speaking of Monday, it's Juneteenth on Monday. It's now an official holiday. People are off from work, so if any of you guys, I don't know if anybody who wants to come in on Monday. I think I told Jules she can come in if she wants.
It's the St. Patrick's Day for black people. So everybody's black on Juneteenth.
That's right. So come on in and celebrate your blackness. Do you ever get I just saw I got an email from somebody I don't know. So I'm looking who this is.
Do I ever interrupt the fucking podcast? No.
I know, but I feel like
actually, I think I do. I just, you're like the main guy. So matter of fact, I do have
I have no idea who this is. Steve Salerno. Try calling independent coach at Inwood. I have no idea. What that means.
Inwood, like
the town,
Upper Manhattan.
No, there's an Inwood.
Is that Jersey?
No, isn't there an?
Maybe I'm the one I'm familiar with.
Or maybe it's just an Inwood school district here on the island. Isn't that like
Nassau,
Franklin?
Maybe.
Isn't that like Franklin Square, almost like Queens out there? I have
that area
no idea.
Does not.
I have no idea what that is.
Compute.
And now there's another one.
Doesn't exist in my head.
Okay, so so I'm going to work on this weekend. I'm going to try and get a few people in here. I don't think I have any guests planned for next week. The only thing planned for next week so far is Chris Monty is coming in one day next week. He has not said what day yet, but he's playing Governors next weekend. So he's going to come in at one point to promote. So in the meantime, Mike Keegan, Jeff Bosey, Hugh Murray, Jordan Fisher, Carla Okerson, Kathy Arnold, Chuck Fox, Will Sharon, Nikki Ginsburg, Sara Contreras, and who's it? Who's at McGuire's?
Irene Bremen.
Irene Bremis.
Bremis Mowich.
It looks like Wayne. Go to govs.com, make some reservations to some great comedy shows. Are you doing anything?
This weekend, no, because it was supposed to be my 30-year high school reunion.
Oh, that's right.
Got canceled, but I'm getting together with some of my friends tonight. And tomorrow I'll probably slum it with Billy somewhere.
Nice. What about Father's Day? Any plans?
No. My wife's always like, oh, what do you want? And I'm like, to be left the fuck alone. But I can't say it. But you can't say that.
True.
So I don't know. But next Friday, actually, I think it's the Late Show at McGuire's.
Oh, nice.
It's a John Butera birthday party.
Oh.
Bunch of us are on. I believe Billy's on it as well. A couple
nice.
of your Aragona's comedy regulars. Regulars.
Cool. Very nice. So that's next Friday. Govs.com. Make some reservations. All right. Happy Father's Day, everybody. There is no green room this week. I'm hoping to get it back up and running now that Don's gotten through this wedding because he's been working his ass off.
I don't doubt it. I've been keeping away because there's been a couple of times I've wanted to call him and I'm like, these are too big of conceptually kind of things I don't want to like cloud and because he is so sweet. I know he would give me the attention if I called.
Yes.
So I've wanted to wait until at least like the middle of the summer for a lot of this to wash over.
So so that's so we'll hopefully next week can get green room going again. All right, happy Father's Day, everybody. Everybody enjoy your weekend, and of course, obviously no Donversations tonight either. So I guess that's it for.
Go check out some of the older stuff. Things that get caught up.
Nice, good idea. Good idea. That. Like when we talked to Kevin Pollak.
Oh God, definitely watch the Kevin Pollak thing.
Lots of great stuff out there. Go check out Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling. Or any of the shows.
Wait, you haven't yet?
That's right. You should be ashamed.
To do that next. Oh.
Like, I can't believe we even have to tell you. All right. Have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day. And happy Father's Day to you,
whether
pal.
you know it or not.
We'll see you later. What will you experience at a Knock'em Dead comedy murder mystery show? Suspense, excitement, love, more love, violence. Well, not really. And, of course, some music. Knock'em Dead Comedy is the #1 murder mystery troupe, entertaining thousands of people for over 20 years.
You have a great night or what? Absolutely. Good.
Their hilarious murder mystery shows are full of audience interaction from beginning to end that will keep you laughing all night long. Their shows are not to be missed. Knockin' Dead Comedy's murder mystery themes include a mob show, a redneck wedding, a high school reunion, a family reunion with a luau theme, or your own custom show.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what? I had an awesome time. All right. You had a great time. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
Fundraisers, private parties, corporate events, restaurants, and more. Contact Knockin' Dead Comedy for your event today.